Go Get It Nation. You ready to go get your reps and build some sales strength? Let's go get it live right after this. What's going on, everybody? This is Go Get It Live. Take a second right now. Do not forget to hit that share button for me. We're going to answer your questions if you got them. But today, we are going to go get your reps. We are going to pump up your prospecting. And we're going to build up your sales strength. Plus, you're going to get 20 exercises to increase your outreach. Let's go get it, shall we? Yo, what is going on? Go Get It Nation. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to another episode of Go Get It Live. I am Corey Dissin, the heavyweight champion of content. Reminder, hey, take a second to hit that share button. Let's invite the friends. Let's tag some connections in the comments. We got all kind of Go Get It gospel that we have to share today. The more, the merrier, okay? We're going to get to all of your questions like we always do. But tonight is kind of a cool night. Even though it's 6 o'clock Eastern time, middle of the afternoon on the West Coast, it is time for a little workout. You are going to go get your reps today. That's a key word. Go get your reps. We're going to pump up your prospecting, and we're going to build your sales strength. And if you stick around with me till the end, you're going to get a list of 20 exercises you can do to increase your outreach. Now, we're going to move on to one of my favorite parts of the show, the shout-outs. So let me see who's been joining us right now on the live feed. I appreciate everyone who's on board right now. Looks like we got a nice big audience. Linda Poff, how are you, my friend? Thank you so much for joining us. Vivi Coolig, what's going on? Lance Huff, thank you so much for joining us. Greg Jake Gibbons, my man, in the house. Thank you for joining us. Charlie, a brand new addition to the Go Get It Express. What a pleasure to have you here today. JDK, my man, what's up? The Bo-Nose VO, Chris Jones, how you doing, brother? Jimmy Celeste, my man, how are you? We got John Malone from the Malone Zone. Alicia Williams, Velvet Voice, how are you, girlfriend? Thank you for joining us. Richie Ammons, what's up, dude? Thanks for joining us. The Big Dog, Jim Cooper in the house. Steve Pearson, you figured it out, brother. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad you could be on the show today. We had a great conversation earlier. I'm glad you can piggyback on this ride with us today. We got Derek Dorsey, turn up the bass, my man in the house. How you doing, kid? Heather Foster, on Cloud Wine. Heather Foster, love that saying. I'm going to wear that out. I can't help it. David from Veteran VO, eyes front, move forward. Yes, sir. Let's go get it. Nessa Lobos ahead of the pack and with us. Thank you very much. I see Elaine Dissin in the house. I think I might know her just a wee bit. Let's see who else here. We got Miracle Mitch Curtin. What's up, Mitch? How you doing, buddy? Melissa Del Toro is with us. Pam Rossi is with us. She talks for a living, by the way. That's great branding she has. John Duffin. Little banged up today, my brother, but I'm glad you can join us. I know you weren't feeling too well. Thank you for joining in on the show. Let's see who else we got here. Mike Carnes. What's up, Mike? Thanks for joining us, dude. I appreciate you. And yes, Linda, the missus, is here. Watch out. She's tough. You think I'm tough? She's really tough, but she's with us here. And hey, listen. Jim Raposa is here. Hey, Jim, what's going on, man? Thank you for jumping on board here. You can use this opportunity to launch any questions. I can answer some questions before we get into the meat of the show. And as those questions kind of propagate here on the comments on my screen, let me just give you a little bit of a reminder. Real quick, we have a first-timer in the house, Mandy Fisher. Hi, Mandy. Thank you for joining us today. First time, long time, right? Hopefully. But real quick, if you haven't already, make sure you reach out to me to go get your free marketing tools, whether that's the fight plan to knock out graphic overlays in iMovie in just 9 rounds, the 5 mistakes you're probably making with your website, the 20 places you should be breaking brand, your Go Get It game plan for creating content, or your opportunity to go get in the spotlight. If you haven't reached out to me about those 5 things yet, please do, and I will definitely share details with you. So, we got the shout outs done. We plugged some of the tools. We got the cool intro rocking. Let's get down to business, shall we? We have a workout to do. I hope you got your water handy, maybe a towel. Might be sweating just a bit. But so here we go. So for those of you that follow me, I'm privileged and I'm thankful that you do. You know that I am pushing marketing all the time. Marketing, marketing, marketing. Market yourself every day, and when you're done that, go market yourself some more. Marketing is a huge piece when you're on the Go Get It Express, when you're a part of Go Get It Nation. It's so important for you to relentlessly market yourself. But, here it comes, pay attention. In addition to being ever present, in addition to creating an environment where potential clients can consistently stumble upon and bump into you, in addition to that, there comes a point that you got to ask yourself. You got to say, hey, you eventually have to ask for the sale. Or minimally, you got to start asking the right questions to prompt a sale. Okay? You can't wait for forever for the fight to come to you. Okay? You have to develop a system to periodically take the fight to your leads and prospects. So what I'm telling you is you need to learn to pick a fight. Okay? I want you guys to start picking a fight. Now, That being said, this fight that we're talking about, it's kind of like the difference between fishing and hunting. Bear with me here. The marketing that you're doing, okay? All of this content, all of this engagement, branding, logos, banners behind your head on LinkedIn, all of that stuff, even your demo, your website, that is fishing, ladies and gentlemen. That is fishing. You're basically putting a whole bunch of bait in the water. And you kind of wait around patiently, some of us more patient than others, and hopefully you kind of hook someone and then you start to reel them in. That's marketing. But I'll tell you, I contend that in addition to being a really good champion fisherman, right? Or fisherwoman, or fisher person, whatever the heck you want to call it. In addition to being able to cast your lines off the dock of the boat, you also need to be able to make your way into the field and do some hunting. Okay? That hunting is direct outreach to your leads, initiating conversations about purchasing your service. And I'm going to tell you, this is where a lot of you get tripped up. Okay? Two things generally happen. A, you're either paralyzed by the fear of rejection, or you're just not prepared. Paralyzed by fear, or you're not prepared. Not two good things right there. Bottom line is, you're probably not in shape, right? To use that lexicon, you're not in shape to start reaching out to folks the right way. Now, you might not even be aware of all the different options that you have. There's all sorts of exercises available to facilitate dialogue with leads and prospects. Today, we're going to address this fear stuff, okay, and the lack of preparation, and we're going to conquer both. Mark this day on your calendar. You're getting liberated today. You're going to graduate today, okay? Let's talk about this fear nonsense first. The whole process of selling yourself or asking somebody to pay you money for your service can be intimidating. It's intimidating. The thought of having to pick up a phone and to dial a number or to send an email, whatever it is, that little phone becomes a very scary device. But look, it's normal. It's normal to be apprehensive about interrupting somebody's day with a sales call or a sales message. It's totally normal because nobody wants to be told no. Nobody wants to be told, I'm not interested. Nobody wants to be told, I don't like the way you sound. That's a big one. When you hear that, I know that really doesn't sit well with you. Or nobody wants to be told, I can't afford you, or you're too expensive. So knowing that you are going to get those rebuttals constantly, they're not going away, no matter how good of a salesperson you are. I'm a damn good one, and I get that all the time when I sell my service. It just happens. With all those things as a given, okay, listen, you got to adjust your mindset. It's a mindset. The misstep that you are making in your sales efforts is you want to win everyone over. You want to win everyone over. Now, I'm going to tell you, you just have to win one person over. One person? Stick with me. I ain't done yet. Bear with me. What I mean is, if you have a list of 100 possible clients, and by the way, this is not the first time I've mentioned this on social media or online or on video. If you have a list of 100 possible clients, stop trying to bat 1,000. Stop trying to please 100 people. 100 out of 100. It's just not going to happen. Out of that 100, it is better for you to have 99 enemies and 1 client instead of 100 friends. Okay? Your friends are not going to sign your mortgage every month. Your friends are not going to sign the lease on your Lexus. Your friends are not going to pay your kids' tuition. Stop trying to make friends. Stop worrying about hurting feelings. Shoot to get 1 out of 100. That is the worst. If you were a Major League Baseball player and you batted 1 out of 100, you wouldn't have a career. But I can tell you right now, you can bat 1 out of 100 in the voiceover business in your sales efforts and make a full-time, really nice living. Now, keep in mind here, I am not giving you a license to be rude or intentionally piss people off. Let me be completely clear about that, okay? We're not trying to make friends, but we're also not intentionally trying to be annoying or, like I said, be rude. However, I am giving you a license to no longer concern yourself with those 99 no's. Like I said, today is graduation day. There's a lot of discussion about the class of 2020 right now, okay? You guys are part of the Go Get It class of 2020. You are going to get today, you guys are going to get a degree in the proper sales mindset. We're no longer going to concern ourselves with the 99 no's. You know why? Because they're doing you a gigantic favor. Did you know that? They're doing you a solid. When they tell you no, you no longer have to waste your valuable time chasing them. Go on to the next 100. Okay? Go on to the next 100. So remember, 99 enemies, 1 possible client. We're not trying to shoot for 100 friends. So that should address your fear. Okay? Go mess up, go screw up 99 times. Score once. All you got to do is score 1 out of 100. Okay? Now, let's address the preparation stuff. Now, most of you think the only way to begin a sales conversation is either by making a phone call or sending an email. I can't tell you how many times I'm on the phone with someone new joining the Express or someone thinking about joining the Express, and it's generally one of the first 5 questions. What do I say on the phone and what do I put in an email? Well, just think about that for a second. We're talking about exercise, right? That is like saying the only way to be physically fit is to do bench press and jumping jacks. It doesn't make any sense. There's so many other ways you can reach out and touch leads and prospects. Now, what I'm about to go over with you, when you zoom out a little bit, you might go, well, that's obvious. Of course, that's obvious. I know about X and Y and A and B and C, everything you mentioned, Core. But I guarantee you guys aren't using X, Y, Z, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3 all together. You might know of what I'm going to talk about, but you are not taking consistent and collective action. Remember that phrase, consistent, collective action. That means you're doing it often and you have a varied attack and you're in motion. You're moving. Consistent, collective action. But I guarantee you that because you're not utilizing these things in the way I'm going to describe, routinely and relentlessly enough, this is why you're having that problem. And even if you are, let's just use it as a refresher or a reminder, okay? So let's start with this little guy. Phone calls. The first thing I'm going to tell you is stop waiting by it and start using it. Stop waiting by it. Start using it. Of course, you can make cold calls. You can work on beating the screener. You can work about trying to get the right person on the phone. You can, of course, leave compelling voicemail messages, or you can even, leave a nice message with the receptionist, okay? And by the way, all those kind of techniques and whatnot we can expand more on a future live show. Wink, wink. But did you ever think about using that phone to start texting? I can tell you right now, a lot of you aren't texting as much as you should. Cell phone numbers are published everywhere. If you have an email address for a guy and you trade an email, generally the cell phone number is on the email. A lot of one-man band, freelance production operations, the calls are piped right into the cell phone. Send a little text. Have a little conversation. Stop trying to write War and Peace on a text. You know, hey, how are you? How are things? Did you get my email? Did you see that post I did yesterday? The members of Go Get It Nation, members of the Go Get It Express, how many texts have you gotten from me that have been like 5 words long? It's nothing that crazy, but this is right in your pocket, and I know it. And you need to know that your potential clients have the same problem. They're carrying around a communication device in their hip that, oh, by the way, it makes a noise and it vibrates when you connect with it, especially with a text. And I'm sure somewhere published on Google it says that how much more likely someone is to answer a text versus a call. So you guys can fact check me on that one if you want. But, use text to jumpstart a conversation. So that's the phone. So what about email? I hear about email all the time. I need to write the best email. I need to get an email that gets opened. I need to be creative. What emails work? Well, the first thing is you got to understand, don't you know you got 3 types of emails you could be writing? Now, we're not going to get into exact copy for subject lines and body copy of emails today. That might be another Go Get It Live episode. Hint, hint. But know that you have 3 different types of emails you can be writing and should be writing. You should be mixing them up. You can send single individual emails where you're putting in the client's first name, you're making it personal, you're including some information you gleaned from their website or a social media post, you're trying to find a common bond, all that great stuff. You can do that. You can write a series of single emails. Or you can send small group emails, little batches of 20 or 30 or 40, by simply using the blind carbon function on your email, BCC, where you can send one message to 20, 30 people at a time, and you might have different subsets of your leads. Some are warmer than others. Some you might have sent rates before. Some have your demos, some don't. And you should have all that stuff broken down. You can send 3 or 4 small group emails and end up hitting 100 people in 10 minutes. So you got your individual emails, which are a little more personal. You got your small group subset emails, and then you got your big blanket emails where you're sending to 100, 300, 500, 1,000. And that's using things like Constant Contact or MailChimp. And the beauty, if you're using a program like that, is they're HTML emails, meaning they look like little websites. They have your colors, they have your logo, they have your graphics, you can put video in there, they have pictures, you can put hyperlinks to demos and stuff. Those are pretty sexy. What I'm telling you is you should use all 3. So many of you, even if you're sending any emails at all, you're probably only doing just one of those. I'm saying every week you need to rotate between those, okay? To all of my Go Get It Express members, most of you get an email from guess who every Monday morning around 8:30 with your Go Get It goals. That is a great example of a small group email. I have different subsets of my list. I have current Go Get It Express members. I have past Go Get It Express members. I have what I sure as hell hope are future Go Get It Express members, and so on and so forth. They get those emails. And I have other big blanket emails that I'll send out from time to time too through my website. Now, let's talk about social media direct messaging. Ugh, this one burns my rear end big time because none of you guys are doing this right. It's pathetic. I hate to be, I'm usually Mr. Positive, and believe me, I still am, but I got to go get real with y'all, okay? You guys are not using your social media direct messaging effectively. Let's just go through all your different options right there, okay? So, over and above growing your connections on social, over and above engaging with the content, posting your own branded content, all things that are right out of the Go Get It playbook. Like I said, this messaging function on the social media platforms is not used like it should be. Now, know that with your messaging on social media, you have 3 different types you can do there too. Did you know that? Let's talk about that, shall we? The one you guys most commonly use, for the handful of you that do it, is you send the simple text direct messages. All 4 of the major platforms support direct messaging to your contacts: LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So some of you guys are getting your toe in the water with that, but I contend you could be doing that more often. And especially, here's the greatest thing: if you pay attention, you can see who is online to send them direct message. You get that little green dot. You look for that and you know that they're on. Okay? Number 2, voice messages. 3 out of the 4 platforms enable you to send voice messages, direct messages to your contacts right through the platform. LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. There's a little microphone. You tap it, you talk, you press the button, boom, they get a voice message. Now let's think here. I'm a voice talent. I use my voice for a living. I am connected to said potential client on social media. How is a way that I could play my voice for them on this medium without it being a demo or an audition? It's a voice message. Let them get to know, like, and trust you by hearing your voice, where you're not reading copy. You're just saying, yo, what's up? This is Corey. I just wanted to check in. Hope things are well. And Melissa Del Toro, you do use voice messages a lot. Thank you for mentioning that. You do it very well. Fist bump to you, girl. But you got to use those voice messages. Mix them in to your arsenal. And last but not least, you can send video messages. Did you know that your phone has a camera, a video camera on it? Your laptop has a video camera on it that you can send videos to your clients of you kind of waving, making a little virtual eye contact, saying hello. I mean, I know on Facebook and I know on Instagram, you can send video messages right through the app. LinkedIn and Twitter, you have to usually attach a link. But even so, you guys aren't doing that enough. Remember, you're trying to get your leads and prospects to know, like, and trust you, okay? Let them see your face. Let them see a smile. Let them hear the tone of your voice. Use that video function. And by the way, it's more likely to get opened if it's a video, okay? Now, we're not done with social media, okay? Couple other things you can be doing on social media beyond posting and engaging, believe it or not, to do a sales touch to a particular lead or prospect. If you're engaging with your leads and prospects, one thing you can do is you can feature someone in a post. You can give them a shout out, a salute, a tribute. You could thank them. Maybe you had a great discovery call with them and you want to thank them. Or you want to admire some of their work. You can do that in a post and then you can tag them. Tag them right on there. They'll get a notification. That's a way for you to reach out direct to a prospect, okay? One other thing, and this is pretty timeless, video conferencing. I know we're all in this COVID mess and everybody Zoom this and Skype that and FaceTime this, but those things were cool before we were all stuck at our houses to use as a tool to communicate with a potential sale. Now, the only caveat with those 3 things, Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, is the etiquette is you generally have to book an appointment for those. You don't just randomly dial somebody up. But still, I've got some of the Go Get It Express members reaching out to folks asking to have virtual cups of coffee. Hey, I'll go into my kitchen. I'll I'll heat up a pot. You do the same. Let's sit in front of Zoom and have a cup of coffee together. And last but not least, let's not forget snail mail. Snail mail still has a place in sales. Okay? Whether you're sending out a simple little postcard, whether it's a thank you note, it's something that I utilize all the time. It's a classy touch, especially if you have a handwritten note on there. You always want to make sure to include a handwritten note. You don't want to be using a service like Send Out Cards, which that's a service online that types in your message and your signature for you. You want to get that pen stroke on there that shows it's from you. It's a good thing. The whole point of me going through this laundry list of items with you and mentioning all these things is you got to be mixing all of them in, guys. It's not just phone calls. It's not just emails. It's not just the content marketing. You have all of these tools right in your hand or in your office. Use them. All of them. If you are fighting a war and you're the general of an army, you just don't send in the infantry. Okay? And, David from Veteran VO can vouch for me here. You don't just send in the foot soldiers. You got the air attack coming in. You got spies behind enemy lines. You got the boats off of the water, lobbing shells. You got all kind of things going on. You got to have a multi-tiered attack. And remember, this is a fight. This is a fight. You got to start taking it seriously. Stop telling all your friends that, hey, I got a voiceover business and you're barely making enough to pay your electric bill. Get in there and get scrappy, take some lumps, throw some punches, and start winning. You can't knock anybody out if you don't get in the ring and start swinging. All right? So remember, take that consistent, collective action. Consistent, collective action. Now, to kind of wrap things up here, I know I mowed through that pretty quick. But if you reach out to me, I have everything on a nice little reference guide for you. All 20 of those exercises that you can keep on your computer or you can print out, tape it up on the wall in your office, pop it up on the bulletin board, and you can say, ooh, did I do my LinkedIn text messages today? Or did I do my voice messages? Or did I send out my mass email? You can have this handy dandy reference guide. So the comments and the questions have been lighting up here. Thank you. I appreciate that. So what I'm going to attempt to do here is I'm going to see if I can comb through some of these and try to answer some of these for you. And then you can obviously answer. We can ask any other questions here. Let's see here. Let's see. Tom Naylor. I'll do some other shout outs too while we're at it. Thank you for joining us. Steve Tardio. John Harriman, the voiceover outlaw. Grant Patrizio. Thanks for joining us, man. There's a first timer there. Jim Cooper says, we have too many people on our roster that sound like you. That's where you get to show them what makes you unique and get them to like you better than them other folks. Christina Martin. Terry with the new last name, recently married. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. The voice of voice artistry is here. John Malone says, being a people pleaser is so exhausting. Yeah, I'd rather you get tired and exhausted by getting in these little scraps and trying to sell than worrying about pleasing everybody. Plus, you don't get nowhere. You know what being a people pleaser is like, John? It's like sitting in a rocking chair. You're moving, but you ain't going nowhere. Let's see here. Mike Carnes says he's going to change his branding from Midwest Charm to Midwest Chafe. Okay, let's do it, man. I'm down with that. Melissa, yes, I am preaching. Absolutely. Charlie says, keep mining. Yes. Alicia says, amen. Rich Summers says, don't be ashamed to fail. Don't be ashamed to fail. I fail all the time. I am a walking failure half the time. You guys see a lot of my successes, but I've tripped up and I've stepped in on a million landmines along the way. And Melissa said she needs sound effects with that wink. I'm going to work on that for you, Melissa. Nessa Lobos, which do you recommend more for the HTML ones? As far as the, I'm guessing which of the platforms, Constant Contact or MailChimp? I'm more familiar with Constant Contact, but I heard MailChimp works just as well. I think MailChimp is a little less expensive. Mike Karn says you have to get approval to add an email to a Constant Contact list. Right. That is correct. So you don't, if you're using Constant Contact for the first time and all of a sudden you upload 100 email addresses, chances are you're going to have some people reporting you as spam, and then Constant Contact's going to flag you and you're up a creek. So you're going to have to sort of send an email first to ask permission, or on your website, you can actually create an opt-in list for your email too. That's a whole other discussion we're going to talk about. Mark Harrietha is using Voice Over View as a CRM tool. Yes, I've heard good things about that. That's awesome. Let's see here. Melissa says she uses voice messages. Thank you very much. And Adam Ailman, thank you for joining us, my friend. And let's see who else is here. Shane Graham, what's up, man? The one I sent is still hanging on your fridge. I love it. So let's add something else. We'll have a whole Go Get It mosaic on your refrigerator. Matt Eakins, he's late, but that's all right. He's across the pond. Thank you for joining us. And Linda says a tip, make sure you're using your good voice to leave a voicemail. No one wants to hear the tipsy voice or the before coffee voice. True, but be authentic. Do not get into announcer mode when you're leaving your voice messages. Don't do that. Be you. Be yourself. You know, make sure your throat's clear and all, and everything's lubed up. But don't be Mr. or Mrs. Announcer. Let's see here. I'm looking here. So, yes, Linda, I will send you one. Vanessa, I will send you one. And Linda, it's okay if you have bad handwriting. That's why I prepare these little sheets for you guys. Chris, I will send you one. Lance, I will send you one. Charlie, one coming at you. Mike, Jim Cooper, Steve, I'm sending you one. Pam will send you one. Matt, I will send you one. Mark, Glenn gets it. We'll send you one. Grant, you are welcome for the shout out. I appreciate you joining us. It means a lot. Jimmy Celeste, I got one coming to you. John Malone, I'm going to send that handy dandy reference guide to you coming up shortly. Melissa, got one coming to you. Yo, Antonio, Audio Graffiti in the house. Appreciate you joining us. Robbie Mo, my La Vosa Nostra. Hermano, what's going on, my friend? Yeah, people pleasing is for the birds. Faux show. Let's see. Mitch, I'm going to send you one. Coming at you. Derek, I got one coming to you. Vivi is using WhatsApp to connect with somebody in Brazil. That's awesome. That's real big in Europe, of course, but real good. And you got a booking tomorrow. Let's see. Alicia is leaving us. You are welcome. And yeah, I'm going to wipe the landmines off for sure. Yeah, Mrs. Dis wouldn't like that too much. Let's see. David, I got one coming to you. And Rob said he's created a new business model where he makes sure that he's on clients' CRMs as opposed to them being on mine. I like that. That's a good approach. And let's see here. Yeah, make sure you look nice for video messages. You know, wipe everything off real quick. Brush your choppers so you look good, as Greg Jake says. And Mark said he had a great voice message conversation with one of his coaches. Well done. Kudos. Fist bump to you, brother. Grant, I got a copy of that coming to you. No problem. And Voiceover Outlaw. And we got Steve Pearson. I'm going to send you that list. No problem. JDK, I got one coming to you. Christina Martin. Everyone gets one. Absolutely. Antonio, I'm going to send one to you. Jim Raposa, one coming to you. The Outlaw, got one coming to you. Let's see here. Heather, I'm going to send one to you. No problem. And that is like the whole entire list. Unbelievable. So let's kind of wrap things up here. My wife says she wants one. After the show, you come up and get it, honey. I got it up here for you. No sweat. So listen, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I appreciate big time that you are a part of Go Get It Nation. Don't forget to message me, last call here, for that list of 20 exercises, or if you need the link to download your fight plan to knock out graphic overlays in iMovie. You need the 5 other mistakes that you're probably making on your website, 20 places you should be breaking brand, your copy of the Go Get It game plan, or your instructions to access the Go Get It Spotlight. Hit me up. Hopefully we're going to have some more coming next week. I really appreciate you guys being part of the show. And you know how we end these things, right? Go get it.